Welcome to the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie, powered in part by Studio E and Classic of Denton.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining us here on the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie here on Denton Radio. This is my last show of 2018. I'm like, what? The year is over with already? And my last guest is Miss Katie Mont. She's going to be here talking about her art, her very, very cool art, and whatever she's doing in this world right now. But thank you guys for tuning in on this very last show. So I just want to be say a quick thank you to everyone that has been here up to this point. So you get to do the bowing out of the Denton Vibe here with me tonight. So Katie, thanks for coming on and thanks for sharing your artwork with us. And we're gonna find out who you are, and I'm sure everyone knows who you are. But for those out in the, the podcast world and beyond, and maybe a few recluses in Denton, let's go ahead and introduce you and how you came to Denton, or how you arrived here, or how you came to be here.
Yes. Yeah, thank you for letting me on. I feel like I got on a good episode then.
Yeah.
If it's the last one.
Yeah.
I feel honored.
Oh.
And we're gonna find me and who I am on this episode.
You know what? It's all about discovery here. I might find myself with you here
Discover
too.
Denton.
Hello.
Discover Katie Mont.
There you go. We're just trying to find our vibe.
Yes, our vibe. Well, I mean, me and you didn't meet too long ago.
No.
So
like short time ago.
Yeah, we only met, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then officially hung out the other night.
Yeah.
So there's still plenty of people for me to meet.
There you go.
Everything in Denton. But I've been here for 7 years.
Nice.
So I came for college, like most. For UNT, though.
Yes.
And then it ended up being a bit too big of a university for me. I'm from, a very small town.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. So I ended up skipping out of UNT and graduating from TWU a few years later, which was more my speed, having, 21 people in a class as opposed to, 300 or something.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
I've done the whole big old 300-seat class there at UNT, and I was just like, and I'm from Dallas, so it was, I'm like, what the heck? Anyway, so did you graduate from TWU?
Yes, in 2015.
Nice.
So, and then I've been freelance for about 3.5, 4 years now.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
But TWU was great. I came here not into this type of art that much. That was kind of the discovery process that didn't let me to. So, but I came for art, and it definitely delivered.
Nice. Well, it sure did, because your style, there's so many artists, and everyone has their different style. It's personal, right?
Yeah.
But there are a few people that literally, when you walk down the street or you see something, you're like, okay, that's Katie Mont. That's Mancini, that's, so-and-so, and you just know. Either you know much about art and you know a lot of people in art, or your art is just that recognizable. And yours, in your case, I think it's very recognizable. It's very cool. It's very different, eye-catching, eye-popping. So
retina vibrating.
Yes, that's a great description of it, because it really is. And then you add, when you do your pop-up shows and stuff, and you add the lights and everything, it's like, oh, I gotta wear that.
Oh yeah.
So
it was perfect at the Studio E thing. All those sparkle lights, they were already there when I got there.
I know, that was the perfect backdrop for your stuff.
Me so much time.
I know, right? Yeah. Shout out to my sponsor, Studio E. Yay.
I love them so much.
Cynthia and Suni, come back soon. We are missing you. They're in Canada. My sponsors are in Canada right now.
Canada snow bunnies right now.
Yeah, speaking of snow, Cynthia and Suni, y'all got to put Diva Girl Ellie in the snow for me in Canada. They just put one in for me in St. Thomas in the beach, so now I need one from Canada.
Oh, drew it in the sand?
Yeah, they drew it in the sand. Not in the snow in St. Thomas, but in the sand. Yeah, definitely. So they're out there. They'll be back soon, and they're a big supporter of you too. So they love your artwork. They're always talking about you ranting and raving. And
I always get to do fun stuff at Studio E. Their events are always awesome.
Yeah.
But They've really let me express myself.
There
I
you
like
go.
hosted a hip hop show there one time. I didn't
Yeah.
know what I was doing.
It's okay. It's a great place to
It
not know
rocked.
what you're doing
It
because
is.
it always falls into place.
Yeah. There's always, and there's things sticking up for like every artist having their own kind of like unique style. They push a lot of solo shows and stuff out of there.
Yes.
So there's a lot of discovery. I've found a lot of, I think my favorite thing about their events is going and seeing all the artists that I didn't even know existed and being like, wow, like we're in the same town. How did we not bump into each other before?
Yeah.
We didn't have the right platform.
Well, the interesting thing about the pop-up shows that you guys do, or, there or anywhere else, you're right. You find all these people that you're like, okay, I am well connected. How did I miss this? Or there's just so many undiscovered people under these little artistic rocks everywhere. Yeah. So it is fun. And I know that I look forward to going to those because I pull people for the show too.
And friends.
Yes. And I always tell everybody, you come on my show, it's an automatic friendship. It really is.
Okay, cool. I was hoping so.
Oh.
Fingers crossed. Are we going to hang out after this?
Yeah, we can go. Yeah, we're going to go eat. I got to eat after the show. I can't eat before. I got to eat after.
Oh,
so,
yeah?
Yeah, ask Jake. He knows. I'm always hungry after the show. So, but tell me about your style. How did you develop this style? I mean, it's very, like you said, what was it?
Retina vibrating.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. I think, so the graphic design program that I went through at TWU was a lot more centered on, it still allowed me to have a bunch of basic art classes as well. Mm-hmm. And later on down the line, they took that out and they had it a bunch more digital. But I'm glad that I got the kind of mixture.
Yeah.
I still got to take the figure drawing and all of that. And then a figure drawing teacher I had, she was really awesome. And awesome to the extent to where you always start art classes with just that, like, for 2 straight weeks, they're like, okay, we're only going to use black charcoal.
Yep.
And we're going to have to do straight realism.
Yeah.
And it would be very boring and, like, repetitive. Yes. And you're just annoyed with the process until that one day that they come in and they're like, all right, all mediums on the table. But she would always kind of skip there a little bit faster for me and be like, it's okay, you can use color. I'd be like, thank you so much. And that was the first watercolor like painting, and that kind of sprouted. Watercolor and indie ink kind of sprouted what the rest of this turned into over time that I ever did was in that class. And it was for us choosing our favorite artists and then trying to do like a piece modeled after them, such as Alex Pardee. He's a part of like Zero Friends, is super rad, sick art group in San Francisco. And it's him, Greg Crayola, Skinner. It's a lot of these artists that do a lot of really crazy art and crazy art styles, and they're all really different. But they kind of mold them together under this single collective that's just really rad, and I've always appreciated and followed them. So that's kind of where I've gotten a lot of my, I have a lot of their art books, and I'll use a lot of them for inspiration. Yeah. And art like cooking or anything else or any real thing that you get really interested in, you want to like project yourself into that and find your own in it. It's a lot of taking pieces of things that other people have done that you like and appreciate, and just finding a way to kind of reorganize those into your own little mixture. So that's what I did over time. So I used to be real into the India ink and watercolor pieces. Eventually you realize that me going digital, it's a lot easier for me to carry around like thousands of pieces of artwork on my laptop than it is for me to have those as actual physical copies. So I've kind of strayed away from that more, and I stick to stuff more like just creating it off of my laptop. But I like that now because I can kind of take one piece of art and use it on 20 different things and just kind of never lose that. Yeah, I see you're wearing some right now.
Yeah, this is actually a Katie Mont. It reminded me of James Dean. And his movie. Yeah, Giant. So I was like, you said it was modeled after your dad. I was like, you got a good looking dad. Hey, Dad.
I showed you his Facebook. So.
There you go. It looked like James Dean to me, and I love James Dean, and it looked like Giant. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool. I love it.
Well, that's the other good thing about art is being able to sell something and someone else gets something completely different from it than what you created it for
definitely.
or what you created it out of. It's left up to everybody's own interpretation, right?
Definitely. And it was very eye-catching, and the colors were all tequila sunrise looking,
Yeah.
and, and the lights were twinkling and all this other stuff. So, but it's one of the things that you said is that you have these artists that you incorporate or draw from your inspirations and stuff. And now I see a lot of repetitiveness in your repetitive pattern in your artwork, which is kind of cool because there's the repetitive pattern and then there's the simplistic, just one image in a floating manner. And I see that a lot on Instagram now. You see it a lot now when they present, just for example, a pineapple, and it's just a pineapple on a pink background. I'm like, that is so cool. And it's just the way they present it. It's the colors, the vibrancy of it, the creativity of light that may be, a multicolored light setup or whatnot, but the repeated patterns and the simple solo pattern or the one image always eye pop for me. So all of these, it's really cool to see that and stuff. And you have other stuff too, and you had some other artwork that was hanging on the wall itself that was completely different than this, maybe a little bit more like this, but they were huge. And they were
was those. I had a bunch of my watercolor and ink.
They were awesome. I loved them.
Those are fun.
Yeah.
It's it's nice to be able to show up with so many different things. And so I love doing, because I design for other people all the time, but the stuff that I get to make that's just for the purpose of making art, I always have the most fun with. And I can always just kind of stretch that into every other thing imaginable, really, any painted surface or anything. So I've got canvases and frames, and you make stretched. I have my friend actually gave me a huge canvas this year that's been painted on by 3 different artists.
Oh, nice.
And he gave it to me with the assumption that you're going to hang this on your wall, but you're also going to add something to it and then eventually give it to someone else.
Oh, very cool.
And I'm just
you're like, no, it's staying here.
I know. I don't want to paint my addition on it because I'm I need it to stay at my house. It's really cool.
I'm sorry, we ran out of room. There's no more for anyone else.
And it's huge too. Mancini had to help me get it to my house, and we had to put it on top of his big Suburban and hold it while we were driving. It was also taped down.
I was about to say, because it would have taken off.
Yeah, we were
with
just
the
trying
air.
to make sure. We were trying to get it across town a little bit. It was a ridiculous story, but it's great, and that's why it has to stay with me for a little longer.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah. You know what? Speaking of art, okay, now that you said it has to stay with you a little longer, I had Robert Hamilton on here way a long time ago, at the beginning when I started Discover Denton, or the Denton Vibe, and I have one of his pieces of artwork. I've been meaning to give it back to him because we used it as, I don't even know how, it was for another show, and I've had it forever.
Oh, yeah.
Now I have to give that back. It's still there, Robert. I'm so sorry. It's big old paper mache lips.
Oh,
huge paper mache lips.
So the thing with artists is we make so much stuff all the time. It's one of those things where you're rummaging, and then at one moment you realize that 6 months ago you must have lost your favorite top, but you didn't think about it until now. And you're like, what? And you're worried about it. And that's the thing with art too, is eventually it'll be a year later and I'll remember, I had that painting that I made, and then I'm real interested in getting it back, but do not know at all where it could have ended up. And
I hope he forgot about it, kind of. I'm like, it's not hanging or anything, but you remind me of that. I'm like, oh my God, I have to give those back. Anyway. So
he's just got a house full of paper mache.
I'm sure he does, because I was like, I'm going to use it for some props and photos. I'll give it back in a little while. He's like, okay, go ahead. And I'm sure he's probably thinking,
did you take photos with it?
No, not yet. I promise I will, Robert. I promise. It's really cool too. It would be making a really cool prop. So I want to ask, what's the meat?
Steak.
I know steak, but you were like, I want to know what was in your head with this one. Well, these are little fruities and stuff.
Okay.
I want to know what drew you to the steak. It's a cool image, and I think you have them on your pants today too.
Oh yeah, I have the steaks on the back of my pants, and I have the pizzas on the front of my pants.
I like that you have double. Nice.
Actually, Matt Salick did a art show at J&J's last year, and it was a pizza art show.
Oh, nice.
And then a lot of those shows started hopping up where it was like, okay, we're going to have like this themed art show, and then the art is themed around this, so that everybody, and it was perfect because everybody likes pizza.
Yeah.
So everybody likes pizza art.
I don't.
And you can buy pizza art for like, you don't like pizza?
I don't like pizza a lot.
At all?
Well, I will eat it from J&J's. The margarita pizza is the bomb there. But I'm not, if I'm at your house and you're like, let's order pizza, I'm like, I'm going to go home.
Okay.
Just kidding. I'm not
But you like to look at it at least?
Yeah, hey, I like to look at it. And it's very beautiful to photograph.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
Wait, just photographing just like greasy pizza.
Yeah, well, I mean, we all take pictures of our food every now and
so
then.
you're talking about like your Instagram looks good when you're eating pizza. You're like, I don't enjoy it.
I will,
other than taking the photo of
I
it.
will eat, if it's good pizza, I will be gung-ho about it. But if you're like, run-of-the-mill pizza, don't even ask me.
You know what's really fun?
What's that?
If somebody's about to Instagram a plate of their food and like right before they do it, you never mess it up with your spoon.
Yeah,
or like
definitely.
stir up their drink or whatever.
Yeah, because of all the.
But you have to like Instagram you doing that
because
so that it goes on your story.
That's
and it's
hilarious.
then like,
do you have those on your story? I gotta go look for them now.
I mean, the stories are gone. 24 hours.
Oh yeah,
that's all
yeah.
you get.
That's right.
It could have
Dang
been.
it.
Maybe I could make that a highlight. It's like messing with people's food.
There you go. Then you can see all the
Messing with
storyline.
food.
Messing up the Instagram feed.
Yeah, so Matt Salick did the pizza show. And from the pizza show, well, it kind of made me realize that people love food. And people love buying art of food.
I would buy the pineapples.
Yeah, I will keep that in mind.
Yeah,
pineapples is actually a good direction for my next little illustration line.
Nice.
Pineapples and fruit, that sounds so good.
It's so cute.
And it'll be spring eventually, and I'll roll them out. Whoosh.
You can do
Color
pastels,
backgrounds.
and then you can pop them even more for summer punchy colors.
Like a pastel pink with like lime green.
Yes. Pop. Okay.
Pineapple.
Yeah, we're gonna let me know when that line comes out.
I'll be back with the pineapples and fruits and
Nice.
the spring stuff. It'll
Watermelon.
have like a little umbrella.
Yes, I love
tiny
it.
umbrellas.
I love it. So,
steak.
do you eat steak?
Yeah, I love steak.
Okay.
I love steak. Rare steak. Rare
Nice.
steak.
That's your inspiration then.
It is. And I wanted it like, okay, so red and white is one of my favorite like pattern colors in general. It's just so like there's like a pop about it.
Yeah.
Same with black and yellow, but I feel like I might have been influenced with the black and yellow from the song. But red and white was always like my jam. And I really just wanted to get this for myself on a pair of Vans.
Oh, nice.
Like on a pair of high top Vans.
Nice.
Yeah, I can't do it though
The
because
meat is too.
No, they won't let you can't get like a custom pair made for yourself with a pattern on it unless you get like a minimum order amount.
Oh,
and I
really?
just wanted them for myself.
You're like, I'm gonna have to figure that
I
one
think
out.
Converse will let me though, so I might just have to switch over.
Okay, you might.
Sorry,
have to.
guys, you're missing out.
Yeah.
I need
Hello.
these stakes on everything, and the only reason I didn't make a pair of leggings like this with like the white is because I'm an extremely messy person, and they would be able to be worn like one time. But I might make a pair just like this, just covered with like black. Because I did that with the backpacks too.
Oh, nice.
Because I have a steak backpack, and my friend Chess hit me up and was like, I would buy that because he's a chef. He was like, I would buy that, but it's white, and I'm a messy person. So I went and made him a black one and put it on there and sent him the link to it. He didn't order it yet, though.
Oh, yeah. You need to order from her. You can't be ordering steak and not eat it. Hello.
Oh, yeah.
So, okay. So, where do you pick your patterns, or do you create these, or you just pull? I don't know how these things are.
So when I'm drawing this, either I draw them. So like with this steak, I just drew it. And honestly, I've gotten so lazy as an artist, I don't even keep like a white page like drawing notebook anymore. I just use a composition notebook, and I'm just like, whatever, it's easy, and take a picture of it and just. Because it's all about, for me, it's just all about speed. So I got over when I was in college, they teach you that thing that's like, okay, you need to, like, for your, no, not at all. Not in design. They're like, you need to make, like, 50 thumbnails of all this. And you need to go through and perfect them. And you need to perfect that. I'm more about the, like, I draw something, I look at it, and I'm like, oh, yeah, that's it. And then I just take a photo of it on my, like, phone, send it to the thing, outline it, and I can fix it on there. Because for me, it's like, I don't want to spend a lot of time actually making it on something that that I'm not going to be able to use it for, right?
Yeah,
So I'll leave people are always like, oh, your notebook, and they grab it thinking it's going to be like something important or special. I'm like, that's not special. I'm like, you're gonna become uninterested real quick because that's just a bunch of doodles and scribbles. Like, it looks ridiculous.
Hey, but it's still your inspiration board.
Yeah, but I have a like cheapo little Wacom Intuos, just a little tablet, so I can like draw on it with a pen, and it shows up on my and that's just what I use now. And I just
very cool. I see
go through and add a bunch of layers. This is my logo.
Yes.
See, it's a K in sign language, and then the crease in my hand makes an M for Mont.
Very cool and clever.
It's also kind of a peace sign.
It sure is. And I like what are those little berries of?
Yeah, okay.
Cranberries?
Another one of those art shows. They did a like beer and art pairing over at Bearded Monk.
Yeah.
And it was an art show. I forgot who it was that ran it, but we had to choose like a beer, which I don't drink beer because I'm gluten-free, so I chose cider, crackberry cider.
Nice.
So I had the whole illustration I don't have with me, but it's basically, there's these like blackberries and cranberries and apples.
Nice.
And on the side of crackberry on the can, it says like cranberry, blackberry, apple, crack. And on
I'm a cider girl.
on the full illustration, it's like these berries, and they're like taking over each other's minds, and there's like stars floating around. And then on the back, you can't really tell what it says, but it says magic crack. Like really big. But nobody can ever tell until I tell them. I'm like, hey, that says magic crack.
Now I'm going to be looking for that because I had one the other day, and I remember seeing something like that, but now that you're saying it, I'm like, oh yeah, it did say that. That's really
magic
cool.
crack.
So, I mean, you said pineapples is a line you're going to be working with soon. So what other items do you have that you're like,
stuff.
I'm going to do that? What are we going to see down the line?
I started doing a bunch of like isometric design stuff.
I like those.
This like the MC Escher stuff. And I've actually worked on it a lot lately, but the stuff that I've done for it lately have been for like a bunch of other clients I've had. As I've been like, oh, I know what to do for you. And then later I finished it and was like, oh, I want to do some of that for myself now. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to start working. I'm going to try to do a bunch of stuff like floating spaces. I have some like pizza islands that are like floating on some of my tights and stuff. So kind of along that feel of like depth and color and a lot of gradients. I love gradients.
Yeah, very cool.
I've been feeling them lately.
So, okay, aside from the prints, obviously, you mentioned the backpacks, which are really cool. You actually handed me a little flyer of it the other day when we were at Studio E. You obviously have apparel, so you're doing these as well. And then your leggings, and you had all kinds of T-shirts, all kinds of styles. Yeah, she's got her little pizzas and her little steaks on the other side. But you've got a lot of stuff to present and merch out, basically. I mean, your own line, it's really exciting. So what do you see happening for 2019?
Ooh, I've got a lot of stuff going on. I have a bunch of fun collaboration things that I'm doing with a couple of different artist groups around town. And it's all stuff that is like launching on like the first that I'm like not supposed to tell people about, but I can be like, yo, cool stuff is gonna happen, and it's not just gonna be with me, it'll be with me and like other people doing fun stuff and throwing events and stuff. But as far as art wise and like Katie Mont stuff, I'm gonna do phone covers. I'm gonna have phone cases really soon. Yeah, I've been testing. I got one for like to test.
Oh, very cool.
And I got a couple more to test, but I think I was gonna do I can do those folio cases, like the real cool like wallet style ones, little flip. And I always have really crummy wallets situation going on personally, so I know
so you're like,
that's
it's time
the
to
one.
Step up my game.
Yeah, that's the phone cover that I need, is one that can be like a professional looking wallet, and it's just crazy enough to like, but I could be okay like dressed in business attire, pulling it out, and they're just like, that lady is cool, but she's a cool businesswoman. And
she's got edge.
Yeah, she's got the style, the flair.
There you go.
The flair.
It's Katie Mont flair.
Yeah. I was going to do joggers because I feel bad because I run into a lot of dudes that are like, I love your leggings, but I just can't get down with wearing leggings personally.
Yeah.
And I have had dudes wear them, though, so I know that everything will fit. It'll be fine. And I can also make any of these leggings into, like, a guy version. But I'm just going to come out with joggers because I love joggers in general. Yeah. They're those like super sweet sweatpants.
Yeah,
I can get them fully printed. And then in spring, crop tops and fun stuff.
There you go. You are super busy.
All the fun little festy stuff, right?
Yeah, and you're always bringing it all and, you know, setting up shop. That's what you do, and it's always neat to see your artwork hanging out at wherever you're at,
all the places
you pop up with your artwork and stuff. So I am excited to hear about the secret stuff that you're working on. Somebody told me, a little bird told me that y'all were working together, obviously. But they were like, you're going to have to wait. You're going to have to wait. I'm like, okay, thank you for mentioning it. You should have just waited to tell me then because I hate waiting.
Right.
Waiting is so hard to do. But anyway, so I'm excited. You have a lot of stuff coming up, and I can't wait to see what you unleash on the world and whatnot. So I know. Anything coming up immediately in the future, like within the next few weeks, as far as any shows or anything? Are you taking a vacation right now? Because I am. Yeah. I'm about to take a vacation.
I don't know if I would call it taking a vacation, but a vacation from having to like load in and out of shows.
Yeah,
and I think that the very end of the year, you hit this like lull period.
Yeah.
Where it's kind of, and that's a good thing because that gives me like a week to be like, I want to find where I'm going to party on New Year's kind of thing, right? I'm like, I need a break on the events, and then they'll hop back in the spring and I can go full force on them. But also finding a way, I got to find the perfect balance for having a lot of online apparel, but then having a little physical shop. I got to find that like cross collection.
So do you actually have any of your merchandise around town, or is it all just your pop-up follow me if you want my merch? Because
it is all on katiemont.com/shop now.
Okay.
So all online, chilling, waiting.
There you go. So you guys order. Oh, look, Raheem. Hey, Raheem. Yeah, we'll let everybody else read that comment, but thank you, Raheem. And Douglas Alford, he's like, bomb.com. Thanks, guys, for tuning in and supporting us here. But, okay, so if somebody wants to collaborate with you, which I see a lot of people would probably want to do that, how would they get a hold of you, and where do they find you, and where do they go?
Yes. Easiest thing ever is just to Google Katie Mont, and the first link is katiemont.com.
Okay.
Or just katiemont.com, and my Instagram handle and everything else is on there, as well as a contact form, as well as like any way to get a hold of me is through that website for sure.
And that's Katie IE.
Yeah, KATIEMONT.com.
There you go. And so what are you going to be doing for the holidays, and where are you going to party for New Year's?
Oh my gosh. I don't even know about the New Year's thing yet, honestly. Holidays ongoing. I'll go home for Christmas on Christmas Eve. It's fun because I have a couple of people that have gotten some holiday commission paintings for me around town, and I'll get to like go and deliver those and like drop them off and hang out with friends for a bit, so that'll be cool. And then I will go to Christmas Eve and have Christmas with family. I've got a friend's birthday party this weekend. It's going to be super fun and super artsy too. He's in Dallas and he's moving, so he's throwing like a big shablam blam party. I don't even know what that entails, shablam blam party. But
it sounds like fun. I would go.
Right?
If I saw that on Facebook, I want to go to the shablam blam party.
There's going to be DJs and artists and a bunch of fun stuff there. I think he wanted me to bring some art, and I think I'm just going to be like, no, I'm going to bring myself.
I am the art. Well, you wear your stuff, so hello.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm just eventually gonna turn into a walking billboard for myself.
There you go.
It's gonna be real tacky and real great, everybody.
Hey, but I'm pretty sure you'll pull it off. I'm definitely sure you will, and it's gonna be styling, so it's all good.
Oh yeah, New Year's is an open book, so if anybody knows anything awesome, holla.
I was scrolling through Facebook today. I'm like, okay, I have not looked at events to see what's going on. It's been crazy.
Yeah,
and
I always get so busy.
I know. Well, like I really need to be looking at more events because I'm already busy and going crazy from packing that all in, and I'm like, you know what? I got to see what's going on. I haven't looked, and I'm looking, and I'm like, oh my God, that. I've got all this stuff now that I've bookmarked, and I'm like, they're all on the same day. How do we do that?
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
And you know that whenever you set the, like, we're going to hop and we're going to make all of these, you're really not. So whichever ones you put in the forefront, those are the ones that you really cared about.
Whichever one you dressed for is probably the one you're going to be at the whole night.
Oh, that's a great point there.
Yeah, that's definitely what happens for me. But I know that I'm ready to bring in the new year here at the Denton Vibe, and I'm just so excited to see what we have in store here at the Denton Vibe on Denton Radio. And it has been such a pleasure to have you on here tonight as my last guest, which is, hey, we finally got to hang out. Well, we hung out Friday.
Yeah, we did.
And if you're on my Facebook, you might see some footage come up. No, we're not going to put that footage on. No, we won't put but we've got some cute photos to post for that. But definitely some cool stuff happening for next year on the Denton Vibe, and just making more friends in the art community. I am so excited to see what else we are brought here at the studio on the Denton Vibe. But thank you so much for showing up and hanging out with me today, Katie, and I look forward to hanging out with you again. And when you get the pineapples in the summer and all that, let me know.
Stuff.
Yeah, we'll have you back on. And it's always an open door for all my guests. I absolutely love all my guests. If it wasn't for all of you, each and every one of you that have been here supporting us here, not just the Denton Vibe, but DentonRadio.com. It's been a wonderful, wonderful year. I've had so much fun. It's been a blessing, Jake, and all the supporting people here at DentonRadio.com. I do want to give you all the heads up. Like I said, this is the last episode for the year. We will be back January 15th. I'm going to do that university vacation time.
Oh, yeah.
So we will be celebrating the holidays with our families, and we will be back January 15th. So look for the Denton Vibe around that time. And you guys stay tuned until the next year and keep supporting us. Like us, love us, share us, comment, and whatnot. And we're going to make it a better year for you guys next year. So thanks for tuning in here with Katie Mont. Go look at her stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. And we will see you next year on the Denton Vibe with Diva Girl Ellie here on Denton Radio. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
Well, thank you for tuning in. We hope you enjoyed the show. Be sure to check out DentonRadio.com for new Denton artists and where they're playing next. While you're surfing the internet, make sure you check out our friends Classic of Denton at ClassicofDenton.com.